Why, hello there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Mr. Doggo333 and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order as Mexico. Now, last video, we started scrambling to secure the support of the workers and, more importantly, the DFS and the Kabuki crisis. Now we have the support for workers, which is pretty vital. But we gotta make sure we do this for the crisis in San Luis Potosi with Nava, Senor Nava. In the meanwhile, everything else come together, I think. Let's see, no more Salinas, Kabuki effect. That one. Keeping it a family. This page. Kabuki effect. I'm not seeing. Alright, so this is more, I think this is a new one that we got. He's right, you know. Stimulus checks would be a viable solution for Mexico, being efficient in relieving the financial burden that the Kabuki effects put on my government and my people. But these checks would stop coming after crisis declared over. Madrazo has another solution in mind that would be much more permanent. He has won me over. I'll allow him to implement his ideas and see what comes of them. There we go. That's what we were hoping for. What do we want here? Do we want to do anything for GDP? Southeast. Farms are slightly unproductive there. Let's see if we can subsidize some machination. And that's all we got for now, and that's all we should probably worry about for now. They call him the father, huh? Okay, we confirm pact commitments. That'll help us out with the DFS. Turn up a little, Roberto. Baltazar asked his son as the transmission began. While he watched his son fiddle with the television he and managed to buy on his salary working for the Secretaria de Recursos Hidráulicos. Baltazar settled back into the couch with a nice cold beer in hand. The television screen zoomed on the horses all lined up on the track, the black and white shapes a little harder to make out this far away. Yet he'd rather have to squint to make out who was who than have to suffer through the unbearable July heat in the hippodrome. The voices from the television finally crackled to life as Roberto turned the knob and Baltazar's ears started to listen. That's right, and for the viewers at the track, this may as well be just another average track at the Hippodrome de las Americas. The viewers at home are the ones getting a special treat. Our nation's first live transmission. What a historic day. I know I'm proud to be Mexican today. The attention of the commentators shifted immediately to the horses themselves, describing a few of their histories as the equestrians prepared to race. Roberto had already sat back down next to Baltazar, yawning as he too leaned back into the couch. He may be yawning now, but Baltazar knew as soon as those horses were off, he'd be watching. Roberto hated the atmosphere of the track, in stark contrast to his father. Perhaps his new contraption, he and his son might be able to spend more time with one another. Before we start, we would like to thank the people of Guangdong, who helped bring you this marvelous piece of innovation. With their assistance, I hear we got the time to set up the connection in half. Now that's something. I wonder what other technology will be on the market from the Spear in the coming years. I know that'll be first in line when it appears. And look at that timing. It looks like they're off. The pack is, the wave of the future reaches the shores of Mexico. I'm getting a little nervous. I'm gonna save here. And then, okay, what have we got? General Lazaro Cardenas stood backstage in the makeshift auditorium of the Movement for National Liberation and set up in the outskirts of Mexico City, closer to the rural Mexicans they were hoping to reach. And the audience were farmers, ranch hands, and many other Mexicans who made their living working the land of the country. Today was an important day, Cardenas told himself, although the beginnings of this movement would be small still, its ramifications would be massive. After a brief moment to prepare himself, he stepped out onto the stage. The PRI and the CNC have long ignored you, the ex-president begun. They abuse their positions of power to laze about and not deliver on the promises of a revolution. Years ago, I created the CNC to give people like you a voice in the government and a voice in the future of Mexico. The dream of what the CNC could be has withered and died under the PRI's watch. That is why I stand in front of you today to announce the creation of the Independent Peasant Central, an organization that will continue to fight for your future in the face of pre-apathy and corruption. The crowd of farmers and ranch hands were ecstatic. Many of them felt the neglect of the PRI and the CNC for the past few years. Also, was not lost upon them the gravity of this moment. The former president was creating something meant to compete with the PRI's near monopoly on power. Maybe, just maybe, this was a start of something big. And so it begins. We got the Tabasco solution. So, next we got all or nothing. We brace for the worst as the players make their final moves. After enduring considerable struggle and the inevitable give and take of political negotiations, our plans have finally come to fruition. It was an arduous journey. Certain factions within the party proved resistant, questioning the necessity of our proposed actions at every step. Sacrifices were indeed made to fuel the recovery, but as we move forward, the obfuscation mist of the kabuki effect begins to lift, revealing the fruits of our labor. Decisions made and actions undertaken in recent months promise to leave a long-lasting mark on Mexico's future. The economic landscape of our nation stands to be transformed, impacted by the measures we've implemented. Furthermore, these developments have also shifted the internal dynamics of our party, redistributing the balance of power. As we step into this new era, we do so knowing that our actions today will shape the Mexico of tomorrow. Alright, let's monitor that paper trail. And Salinas is making moves. How are we doing now? It's not good. Now we're really struggling on political power. I want to test something real quick. So Ordaz will gain support and Madrazo will lose support. Manufacturing Madrazo is more support than Ordaz. That's true here, so that's not really what we want. Let's crack down on subversive elements. Increase operational autonomy. Some pact commitments. Try to flex the establishment. Kind of just spamming options at this point. Okay, this will actually be huge. Over by the fireplace, Madrazo idly traced his finger alongside the bit of his chair as Mateos used a nearby poker to stoke the fire a bit, before last resting along the rack and sitting down adjacent to the governor. They sat in silence for a few moments, neither of them sure how best to start the conversation. At last, it was Madrazo who broke through the silence. Your Excellency, you've seen how I've handled my state as governor. We started off as one of the poorest regions of Mexico, just the same as many of our neighbors in the south, and ended up becoming one of the most prosperous. It's not happened naturally. We had to make it happen, and we did so through vigorous reforms. We expanded social services and amenities. making grocery stores more available, modernizing our infrastructure, our hospitals, and our schools. We've propelled the state into the modern decade and beyond, and I believe we can do this with Mexico at large. The effects of kabuki ravaging our industries, what we need is to take this model and apply it so it may benefit all of Mexico. Mateo stroked his chin, thinking hard. He could accept this proposal at face value, or there needed to be change made to prevent this sort of disaster from happening again. Yet the old guard would not accept these drastic changes without certain addendums, and Madrazo would be none too happy about having these addendums to his proposals. But his grand vision that he had, even if it was part implemented, might just be what Mexico needed at this time. I understand what you mean, Licenciado Madrazo, and I agree with your sentiments that we must do something to ease these effects of kabuki. And in light of this, perhaps even prevent the sort of crisis from happening again. In light of this, I feel like these results should be reversed, because having his Ordaz assist you sounds like it should give Ordaz and Madrazo equal support, and just for support behind you should just increase Madrazo's support, but it seems to be reversed. Let's get. Oh, there we go. That's what we needed. Whew, there we go. In the wake of Lazar Cardenas' announcement of the Independent Peasants Council Central, an organization meant to compete with the CNC's monopoly over peasant class, President Adolfo Lopez Mateos had ordered an emergency meeting of a cabinet. This was because Cardenas' CCI would be the first major threat to predominance in some time. This announcement of CCI's creation seemed to really resonate with Mexico's peasant class, which scared the party. You cannot allow us to lose our grasp on the peasantry, Lopez Mateo said to his head of the CNC. Look into any way to directly combat them and their message. Let me know if you need to use the military. Then the president directed his attention towards the head of the DFS. I need your help as well. Look into any way we can undermine Cardenas and the MLN. When you help, luck, they'll fall apart on their own, but anything we can do to hasten their demise will be appreciated. After the meeting was over and the various men and the president had ordered to destroy the MLN, and the CCC went to work. Organizations were broken up, dirt was gathered, and any possible means of quelling this dissent was taken. Yet the peasants of Mexico did not abandon the MLN and the CCI. Instead, they continued to sign up as members and show support. And soon they were expected to challenge the PRI properly. Oh dear. I can't do anything there. Let's affirm pact commitments from now. Just as a little bit of insurance here. I feel like we're getting to a point where we can probably just mellow out, focus more on the economy stuff. Let's expand some cash crop productions in the southeast. Oh, that's not exactly what I wanted. Oh Jesus, Madrazo's at the very bottom now. Fuck, as soon as I did the fucking... I'm gonna refund myself with political power, I'm sorry. Oh fuck, now that only helps out Ordaz. Shit. Oh, Jesus, it's just getting worse. Yeah, we can't fix that. We can't overcome that. Not right now. Not for the time we have. Alright, I'll just try loading the autosave first. So we want to do get that done, all or nothing. There we go. Okay, that helps us. Oh, there we go. Interesting. We can do a new proyecto, at least. In the Gulf. Alright, so... do a grounding station. We got a bridge. Let's do Cuauhtémoc Stadium. It's undeniable that the effect football has had on the nation. The sport grows more popular every day, and with it, the proposal of another stadium. The capital of Puebla, one of the biggest stadiums in the nation, is slated to be constructed, with it only being overshadowed by Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. With the approval of the president, it will begin construction. Let's do it. Need to cheat for a little power. I'm sorry, I didn't want to do this, but okay. Let's get pact commitments and monitor the paper trail. That should be enough, right? Might need to stop Salinas from making moves as well. No, fuck, okay. Arturo had only been to the state capital a handful of times in his life. And yet by now he'd wondered if he was more well-versed in the layout of Chihuahua city center than most of the locals. Maps stood before him, marking out the places where the state government had given the UCGOCM to march. The place in which it would march and sit in anyway. Multiple routes towards the train station that would take its delegation back to the closer town of Madera. Road and place names swam around his brain, threatening to spill out. It didn't help that after the stage had ended, the group's sobriety had been going rapidly downhill. The assembled Union delegates had devolved into off-key singing of Spanish Civil War songs and a slurred argument over whether Chihuahua did or did not have the worst soccer players in the country when Jacobo Jamiz walked in holding a letter. Did you hear the news? He asked, having repeated himself a couple times over drunken revelry. No, what news? The president's coming to Chihuahua. He's agreed to meet with us. We might actually get some sort of agreement. Jacobo. Even I'm not that drunk. No, look! He passed over the letter. And sure enough, it had a date, a time, signature, the presidential seal. Everything. Traveling Mateos was traveling here, it seems. Maybe something could be worked out. Then again, Arturo remembered what happened to the men on the railroads. I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, well... Shit, okay. Going back to start of August. Come on. Okay, so stop Salinas from making moves. That's gonna be huge. No, I don't know if that stops him from making moves. Or does it take... DB333 from back commitments. Module the paper trail. Alright. Sign Ordaz. That gives us the edge. We can't keep edging. We gotta keep going. We gotta finish. No edging here. From pact commitments. We keep this up. I think we got it. No, motherfucker. No, fuck. Okay. Oh, fuck. We went past the autosave too, so we can't just... Well, maybe. Maybe. No, probably not. Okay, 4 days. If I do that, I don't even know if that fully works the way it's supposed to. Yeah, no, it doesn't. That does nothing. Cracking down on him and stopping him making moves does not actually stop him from making moves. A little bit of false advertising there. I gotta say. All right. We're running long on what this episode was supposed to be, but this has been a lot of reloading, trial and error, and actual just pain. So I'm gonna keep doing this until we fucking get it. Okay, so. That's just a backlog of all the old commands, I think. It doesn't actually reflect what we have or haven't done. I think. I'm not paying that much attention. I'm trying mainly not to lose my mind here. I want to do that. And then I have a bit of an idea. It might be a little silly, but it's going to hurt us a little bit more than... I'll wait for until we get higher up. Okay, Tabasco solution. Okay, so we can affirm pact commitments. That's going to boost us big time. There we go. And then here's my idea. We fuel against paranoia. So that'll decrease Salinas. It'll decrease us, but also decrease Salinas. And our biggest threat right now, I think, is Salinas. Let's fuel against paranoia. And then get the new the pre-octo go back and going again. Excuse me. Golf. Stadium. Excuse me. Did I? Because we're in the passive state of Mexico. In recent years, the state of Toluca has seen rapid growth resulting from its proximity to Mexico City. The resulting strain on this state's governing apparatus began to rear ugly effects. The massive government complex in the city center will replace the existing state capital complex in the city, serve as a new hub of governance of the state of Mexico. I guess we're building a palace now. Probably don't. I'm gonna risk it. I don't want to reload another save. I could have min-maxed this more optimally if I fully knew what we were doing earlier, but now they're fucking preferring Ordaz. God fucking damn it. Leave it when I see it. better fucking say it. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose all my marbles. Don't you do it. Okay. Thank fuck. Around 45 minutes had passed since Nava had gone to consult his merry band of distant advisors. Although to Madrazo, anxiously tapping his phone on the ground, it felt more like an hour. He was getting ready to get a breath of fresh air outside for a moment when his door opened opposite of him opened. The man who would define his full success or failure, Nava, walked through. This is simply not enough. It's mired with loopholes, political potential corruption. It's barely more effective than the status quo that brought us here. Madrazo was still determined, has one more trick up his sleeve. Walking over Nava's side, the evening light cascaded through the blinds onto his face. He brings the unhappy man closer to him, outside the earshot of Ordaz waiting outside. I'm telling you right now, this is all I can do. If you don't take this offer right now, you can expect the DFS at this door of you and everyone you know. So I suggest you do it. Nava began to speak, but is cut off. However, if you take this offer, you can rest assured that in the event of my presidency, he taps the folder on the table, all your gripes with this can be resolved. Neva hesitates for a moment, but reaches a decision. I may no longer be in the party, but that does not mean I cannot feel the way the wind is blowing down in Mexico City. Nava holds out his right hand, and a firm handshake is shared between the two. I hope my trust is rewarded. Nava gestures to his team and makes a call. Call up for protests. Oh, thank fuck. Well, that was a complete bust, thought Arturo as he made his way out of the Chihuahua government palace. The president was there, all right, and he listened to the union delegates. Oh boy, did he listen. In his finely tailored suit, he looked at them in their overalls and listened. He kept touching his head strangely and seemed exhausted, of pretending perhaps. But he listened. He even promised to look thoroughly into the matter. And then the meeting was over. But his time in the state capital was not. The main group was just opposite the government palace, and would continue to voice their demands for a few more hours. Oh, we can do another proyecto. Hold up. Yeah, we can't do the metro. That sucks. The stadium seemed kind of overpowered with all the base stimulation. Let me do Paseo de la Reforma, the famous boulevard running through western Mexico City, designed to the best of Emperor Maximilian, renamed in honor of the pivotal set of laws passed during the Second Republic, is in dire need of remodeling. In the age of the automobile, such a narrow avenue must be expanded to accommodate for the influx of sightseers, commuters, and tourists hoping to see some of Mexico's most historic monuments. There we go. Let's do it. But some state capital was not. The main group was just the opposite the government palace, and would continue to voice their demands for a few hours more. Other groups were camped outside the state headquarters of Ban Rural, across from City Hall, and the regional headquarters with various agronomic concerns. He doubted they would be mollified by His Excellency's proclamation to the insolent masses. Disperse now would be what the government wanted. The pressure needed to be maintained. Just as he emerged from the palace into the searing heat of his Chihuahua sun, he felt a tap on his shoulder. He turned around to find himself face to face with a trio of police officers, one already brandishing handcuffs, another saying something about unlawful assembly. He couldn't help but laugh. How magnanimous. I'll let this video go for a little bit longer. I'll do staple crop production. Actually, we should have done cash crops there. Hot wind blew gently in Durango, yet the stereotypical tumbleweeds were as absent as the power of the institutional revolution in these lands. How suitable is a place this is, the synarchists murmured as they shook the sand from their feet, rubbing their soles with worn-out brushes to only moderate success. Inside, under the gaze of a crucifix imported from what their editor and leader called the home of Semana Santa and good governance, sat the staff of newly concentrated editorial Joaquin Mortiz, isolated though the house may have been, the way to the most Catholic cities in the north of Mexico was clear and easy. The better is spread the exalted word of synarchism withal. A Bible slammed on the table, Vulgate, of course. As the editorial staff scribbled and typed away, the sound of right hands touching the Vulgate and towing oaths, sworn in a murmur repeated. This was a humble founding of the Nationalist Party of Mexico, a vehicle for the construction of a new legacy on the ashes of the old UNS, and to avoid the fate the latter suffered. Knock, knock. The sound was aggressive. Perhaps the hour of doom was sooner than usual, or perhaps the power of Mateos' men greater than anticipated. Or while it might have been, the editor stepped down and handed a fat envelope to the man in front of him. Putting his truncheon back in his knapsack, the officer nodded approvingly. Carry on then, Mr. P&M. I'm gonna go ahead and leave things there. I think it's about time. This video's gone on for a fair bit, I'm sure. Yeah, we already got that updated. There we go. Anyway, thanks always for watching, my friends. Like this video if you liked, dislike if you didn't, leaving comments or feedback down in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get, and I do appreciate any feedback you might have for me. Check out my various links down in the description box below. Leaving comments, feedback down in the comment section below as well. And yeah, sub button, notification bell, all that good stuff. I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.